What up, G Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if possible, share, because it does help my channel. And check out the playlist where I have videos in their own folders. I finally got one of these card things. I kind of don't really like it as much because it's kind of shaky. I really don't like the shaky. But hey, it's what it is. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was a different topic since we're in the holidays. You know, the Christmas time and all of that. We're having a rainy day right now in California. We're having that rainy weather. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's raining over here right now. So, the holidays for a gang member, right? Like Christmas. How was it, you know, during Christmas times when you a gangster? You know, does the gangbanging stop? Do you guys, you know, have the family time and everything like that? And the reason why I wanted to talk about this video is because I know that I wasn't the only one that experienced this kind of Christmas because, you know, I remember being with the homies on the holidays. So I know that a lot of us, you know, and we would have, you know, clashes with the enemies on the holidays. So I know that we weren't the only ones that were having these kind of holidays. So growing up, Christmas wasn't, you know, the best. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, some of us don't come from a well-jointed family. You know what I mean? I know, although people talk about get over it, blah 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 blah. How could you guys choose this life after everything your family has done? And you know, wow, woo woo. See, they're acting like if everyone has a nice family like they do. They act like if we all come from families that are loving and warming just like theirs are. Not everyone has the family like yours. Sorry to burst your bubble. I know it's hard for you to believe that there's families out there that that don't have connections or bonds, or I know you would like to think that families out there are not willing to do, you know, my bad, it's because I was shaking. Not willing to do like, you know, things to their children and stuff like that. But you'll be surprised, you know, what some homies go through. Some homies go through some pretty scandalous shit. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to judge or don't try to act like you know what it was growing up. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy for you to try to pretend that, you know, we all had a lovely background like you did. Must be nice. Congratulations. You know, like try walking in our shoes and we'll see if you grow up the same. So don't give me that. But, you know, because everyone has a different childhood. Now, Christmas times, I remember being in the hood with the homies, the holidays. You know, at home there was no connection, there was no bond. You know what I mean? What a lot of people don't understand is that there's a lot of fake moments captured in film and in social media. What do I mean by that? A lot of people, and I see this being done till this day, sad but true. A lot of people, what they do is that they tell their kids, come here. It's a picture time, right? They dress them all nice. They get in the thing for a picture. Smile, guys. I want you guys to smile. They smile. The picture's taken, and then everybody goes their separate ways and back to being, you know, isolated and shit like that. You know, it's just they got that one pic for their Facebook or their Instagram or their whatever, and then with that they upload it and you know, that way it can seem like, you know, they're good parents and they right there with their kids and everything. In reality, it was just a picture moment and that's it. After that, kids go back to their fucking devices. Parents go back to doing whatever the hell they're doing in their own little world, and there's no bonding, there's no communication, there's nothing. That's a horrible way to raise a child, and it does cause psychological damage, you know, whether it be how could I say, emotional problems, you know, attention problems. It creates some form of psychological damage, regardless if you guys want to believe the research or not. I mean, the fact that there's so many people behaving the way that they behave is all the proof that you fucking need in this world. You know what I mean? Because it does. Anywho, so growing up, you know, it wasn't all that, you know, different in the holidays. You know, the chaos never stopped, not even in the holidays. I remember in Christmas time and the holidays, I remember going to the hood not even hitting up nobody. You know, that's how it was back then. Back then, you couldn't like get on the, you know, your social media and just tell the guy, my boy, you know, like, you know, there was no cell phones or nothing like that, so you just had to roll up to the block. You rolled up to the block, and you know, I would roll up to the block, and sure enough, camaradas would be there. You know what I mean? But for Christmas, a little bit different. You know what I mean? We came through with more quality beer. You know what I mean? A little bit more of the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Homies will bring the best, you know, bud or whatever drugs were gonna hit the table that day. You know, we used to bring out the cream of the crop that day. You know, every other day maybe it would have been stress, because right back then you had the stress and you had the Pretendo and the chronic. You know what I'm saying? That day you were probably smoking the Kush. You know what I mean? It was rare, but I mean, or the White Widow, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know if people remember all of that, but you know what I mean? Or the P Dogs or the Cocos, but you know, but we were gonna get extra lit on Christmas. I don't know if maybe we would do that because since it's the holidays, we needed you know, something more of the stronger substance to maybe pretend that it's okay to be there on Christmas. Pretend that everything's all right. Pretend that that maybe it's not so bad after all. Pretend that you know that we actually don't need our family and everything like that. You know, maybe it was all a facade. You know what I'm saying, to make us feel better. You know, possibly. You know what I'm saying. I really don't know. I still to my age and all the research I have done and you know, I educate myself and all that, I fully don't understand myself you know, completely, or my emotions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to dig through. You know what I'm saying? And us homies, we're not the best at like talking about our like actual emotions or about our, you know, like, you know, shit that has, you know, occurred in our lives and stuff like that. So you know, it's you know, it's interesting, you know, to say the least. Anywho, so you know, we used to chill on the block, you know, that day, but you know, everybody was extra jolly that day. You know what I mean? We were bumping, we were partying, and we used to get pretty deep. You know, not as deep as, you know, like any other day, because homies were with their family. There is some homies that were with their families, and, you know, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But there was enough of us right there on the block we were pretty deep. If normally we used to be 60 heads, this day we'll probably be like 30, but it was cracking though. You know what I'm saying? It was cracking. You know, like a little party right there in the parking lot of the apartments. You know what I'm saying? We used to get it on and popping. And you know, and even though it was Christmas, it was no different from any other time. So you know, you would go looking for the enemies and put in work and stuff like that. And sure enough, guess who would be out there, my boy? Just like how we were out there, you know, we weren't alone. We would find the enemies, and they would be kicking it in their hoods, the same, likewise. And they would get no special pass just because it's Christmas. Probably the only difference is that when homies hit up the hood, they would probably put Merry Christmas. But that's about it. That's the only difference. You know, so if you caught the enemy, it was on and cracking still, homie. We didn't stop for the holidays. There's a Christmas present for your mom right there to open on for Christmas. The mentality, it's scandalous, right? Ruthless, like, damn, that's an evil way of thinking, an evil way of thought. That's how we seen it though, when we were out there, not giving a F. You know what I'm saying? We literally seen that, like, okay, well, let your mom open this gift, you know, for, you know, like, to want to inflict that kind of pain and anger. So you could understand, you know, the rage that I guess maybe we felt, you know what I mean? And we just wanted to, you know, make people feel exactly how we felt, you know what I mean? Like, if I have a fucking shitty Christmas and, you know, even though we're having a time of our life on the block, in reality, we wish we were probably with our family. We wish we probably had it like everybody else. So we just wanted to maybe just, you know, make people feel how we felt, in a sense that, well, if it's not fair, you know, that my life's shit, then I don't see what's the problem. Why you're over here whining because your life is shit now. Like, you know, deal with it like I've been dealing with it. You get what I'm saying? And like, it's a lot of anger. It's a lot of, when I tell people raise these kids better, that's real talk. I know I know that a lot of homies say that they blame themselves, right? Like, well, it's my fault I turned out the way I turned out. You know, my parents were good, hardworking parents. You know, like I was the stupid one. I was the hard-headed one. I just didn't understand. Here's the thing, though, my boy. You were a child. You didn't understand because you're not supposed to understand. You're a child. Keep that in mind. You're a child. It's your parents' job to guide you, my boy. Them being your parents, they're supposed to talk to you. You know, they're supposed to, tell you everything's gonna be okay. They're supposed to guide you through the tough tasks in life. They're not supposed to be like, you figure it out on your own. They're not gonna be like, well, I gotta fucking work, so I don't know what to tell you. You on your own. That's not what a parent's supposed to do. And I get it if they work 2 jobs, but at least still try to like come home and the time that he is home right there, at least bond with you. But they didn't, right? They just wanted to rest or be left watching their soccer game or be left alone. You are just a child. How do you expect to understand yourself in an age where everything is so confusing because of your emotions? And not only that, but still deal with your own personal problem and the own task of actual life. So you're telling me that it's your fault that you expected to understand all of this and being able to muscle through it? You're a freaking child, homie. Even though you're a teenager or whatever, my boy, at that age, the emotions are running loose. You're not able to control them, right? Because you're the part of the brain hasn't developed yet in order to be able to comprehend that. You know what I mean? Because you can't deal with the testosterone levels that are in and the hormones that are now entering your body, right? So that's why teenagers are more, over exaggerated and rush to conclusions and think that they know it all. And then they think that they're tough. They think they're the toughest, but then when shit does get really, really hard, you see them crying, but they wanted to be right there acting like like they were like it doesn't even hurt them because they don't even know what emotion to show, my boy. That's how their emotions are running loose, right? They're just not able to comprehend it all because the part of the brain hasn't developed yet. That's why the legal age of drinking is 21 and all that. There's a reason why they put these ages the way that they put them, because of the research that is done. That's why some countries have different legal ages, for certain things, because they don't believe in science. They don't believe in the research. That's why, some countries are more fucked up than others. Because they refuse to believe the issues. America has a lot of issues, but not as much as some of these countries that refuse to believe the science. There's a reason why there's ages and set and everything like that for things. Or you're not an adult or this age or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not just somebody blindfolded themselves and threw a dart at a thing and guess the number. Yep, 18 is the A, right? Or 21 is A. That's not how it's done. You have to understand how the brain fully works and stuff like that. So before you want to be saying that it was, you're a knucklehead and everything like that, understand, my boy, that it wasn't your fault. I'm not saying it was your parents' fault either, my boy. I'm saying that they're partially to blame, but I'm not saying that they did it intentionally. You know what I mean? They had their own problems as well. They had to work 2 jobs, and then dealing with new country and dealing with all the madness that comes with it. It's a lot on their plate too, because back then, and even some places till now, Americans don't know how to behave with other people from other countries, because I don't know, they think that they're gods because of the color of their skin. It's ridiculous. If you need food and water, and if you bleed, I mean, my boy, you're just like everybody else, homie. That skin color don't mean shit. Real talk. It's like if you're getting a white chair, gray chair, black chair, khaki chair. Yeah, they're all different colors, whatever, but it's still a chair at the end of the day. The white chair doesn't do nothing different than the black or brown chair does. They're the same chair, they're just different colors. Get it? You know what I'm saying? Now, so, I'm not saying that they did it intentionally. They had to deal with, everyday society too, whatever. But that's the part of being a parent. You're supposed to understand that even though you have a lot on your plate, you still have to, be there for your children, and you still have to, You know, because if you think that life is hard being an adult, imagine them that they're not even able to cope with the shit. You know, to you it may not seem like what they're going through is a big deal because it may be some petty shit, some small shit. Understand that they're a child. Understand that these problems, they don't fully understand them, and to you it may seem stupid, whatever, because you have common sense, right? Already, you're able to understand these because you're an adult. They're not. So you're supposed to, you know, even though small to them, you have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to think of it from that angle, from that point of view, because they don't fully understand it. So you're supposed to guide them, tell them that it's okay, and so it's cool to feel this way, and provide, you know, like from your experience, right, from your lessons of going through similar things, and you know, make them feel like you know that you're there, and really do understand that you're not just saying shit just because you know you're their parent or whatever. You know what I mean? That way they create that bond and chemistry with you. You know what I mean? My kids come to me and we talk about, you know, from everything, from even the most embarrassing things. They're not shy expressing themselves to me. You know what I mean? They talk to me freely about everything, you know, even about embarrassing moments and stuff like that. Wow, homies be like, damn fool, like your kids tell you that? Like, man, my kid, you know, I can't get him to tell me shit. Like, well, my boy, I mean, if you fucking beat the shit out of him for spilling the Kool-Aid, imagine if he comes to you with these problems. He's probably thinking you're gonna murder him. Even though, you know, like, that's stupid. He knows that I love him, like how I said. These emotions running loose, and when you're coming at them like that, my boy, that's real fear you're installing in them. That's not, don't think that that, oh, that is just mad and, you know, that's why they're scared. No, they're really terrified of you. They really think the worst, you know what I mean? Because their brain is running wild, my boy. You don't fully understand the brain, the process of thought, and how much damage it does. That's real shit. You know what? One thing that people say, I'm gonna tell you guys this. One thing that I hear people say, I used to get hit with the bell and I turned out fine. First of all, you forgot your past. I'm pretty sure you made a shitload of mistakes. So you weren't perfect, so you didn't turn out fine. And two, there's a reason why you don't hit your kids as much as you were hit. Why is that? You remember, no? You remember that, the feelings and all that shit. You remember psychologically what it was. As a reason you don't hit them as much as you were hit. Because you know that it wasn't right at the end of the day. So don't give me that shit. So at the end of the day, Christmas and all that was no different. And that was just my point of view on the psychology behind it. You know, and the emotions of the bonding time and why it's so important, because the reason why I brought all of this up, you know, talking about the holidays, is because when Christmas came around and all the emotions that we went through, the roller coaster, that Christmas just became another regular day. There was nothing special about it. No looking forward to family gatherings, get together, none of that. Because psychologically, to us, it was like, there's no bond or none of that, so it's just another day. You know, when it's supposed to be the time where you're the jolliest and you know, etc., it literally just became another day. But that's just my opinion, you know, and the psychological view over it. I'm just saying, Shadow, we up.